I want to dedicate my first podcast to my cousin who suddenly passed away this morning, Drew Barrett. I love you, man. We're going to miss you. But tell Aunt Betty Lou, my mama, and Uncle Junior I love them and I miss them too. I hope you're up there dancing, bro.
Have your fears and your pain gone away? 'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness. Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky.
Here we are on Rochester Road in Beaver Dam, Kentucky. Road I grew up on. Grew up in that house right down there, the tan one. A lot changed since then. My grandma lived with us. Rest her soul. I lived in that house. Allie had a trailer right there, and Cody lived in this house right here. My homeboy Eric Poston, God rest his soul, he lived in the house behind us. Man, this is where we grew up. This is where we played ball. This is where we did everything. I couldn't tell you how many years ago because I try not to keep track. But my best friend Cody had a dirt bike wreck right here in this area. I've never been here before. It's kind of emotional, for real. But I miss him. We used to ride our bikes up and down this highway. We rode dirt bikes. Man, we did everything together. There wasn't a time that we weren't together. Until I moved to about 2 hours from here. That's when we first started being kind of apart. Something I really never told a lot of people is a month before he died, we talked on the phone for hours, just trying to rekindle, re-talk, just find out what everybody been up to. Yeah, man, when I got that call, I was devastated, man. What happened was he was riding his dirt bike. Something happened crazy. Had a helmet on just like you should, and took his last breath in this area, man. What's up, guys? This is Coach K with Sit Down and Listen. We're about to do the first episode, My Story, Part 1. Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to ask you, who is Corey Francis?
Corey Francis is a man who can take over the world in 60 seconds.
All right, so where did your love for basketball come from?
My love for basketball came from my grandmother, who passed away. We watched college and NBA basketball together. She let me play basketball wherever I wanted.
Who was your grandmother to you?
My grandmother, to me, was my biggest influencer, my best friend, my grandma. I mean, I could go on for hours about her, but I can't. So,
All right, so we went and seen your grandmother's gravesite. Seeing the rest of your family, how did that make you feel?
it was kind of like surreal that, everybody that's passed on, some of the aunts that are there, like my Aunt Betty Lou was, a big part of my life. I was her favorite. My Aunt Wanda, oh yeah, my mom used to buy her spearmint gum tin every Christmas. No matter how much money we had, my mom always made sure she had a spearmint tin for Christmas for my Aunt Wanda. She's even got one on her grave from my mom, so that's pretty cool.
All right, so shout out to your mom.
Shout out to my mom. Woo! My mom.
How hard did your mom work as you guys growing up?
My mom worked sometimes 2 jobs at a time. After my grandma passed away, my mom really had to get like 2 jobs to take care of me and my brothers. But yeah, it got so bad that when we were living on Young Street, we all had to sleep in the same bed because we couldn't afford heat at the time. So yeah.
You mentioned you having a brothers, sorry. You have a twin. You're a twin.
Yeah, I'm a twin, but I am 26 minutes older. Uh, no one ever forget that because I will never let anyone forget that.
You have a couple younger brothers too, right?
Yeah, I have I think my brother Austin's 19, and my little half brother Junior is like 12, 13, 14, 15, one of them ages. Circle or A, all the above.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about Rochester Road.
What about it?
That was the first place that you really remembered growing up. So,
Rochester Road is a place where Corey Francis kind of evolved, I guess you could say. My best friends were there: Eric Poston, Cody Henry, Allie Knight. Um, me and Cody grew up together most of our lives until I moved away. Um, but probably about a year and a half of us being apart, I got a phone call one day that he had passed away due to a dirt bike wreck. Pretty, pretty devastating moment in my life.
what was your favorite memory with them?
One of my favorite memories was Cody when we used to ride dirt bikes between my house and the field beside his. We did everything together. I mean, I can't really just pick one memory because there are so many favorite memories that I could go on forever about.
All right. So, what about Eric Poston?
Eric Poston, the postman as we used to call him. So there's two memories that really come to mind when I talk about Eric. One is it takes me back to grade school when I got smacked in the back of the head during PE class. So I just turned around and smacked the first person I saw, and it just happened to be Poston. And you're in grade school, so everybody's like, "Oh, you're gonna take that? You gonna take that?" So of course Eric hits me. So we're fighting in the bleachers, and they break us up. We go to detention. We were still friends after that. I had to. My mom made me call and apologize. You know, but the funniest one is he kept bothering me and Cody about riding the dirt bike. So we let him ride it, and he's doing pretty good. Then all of a sudden he starts heading towards the house. Never forget it. And I'm like, oh no, he's gonna hit the house. He's gonna hit the house. About that time, he hits the house and rips the spark plug completely out of the dirt bike. We was like, Eric, man, I thought you knew how to ride. And he was like, uh, uh. But yeah, that's probably my fondest memories of Eric.
We went and seen your grandfather's grave and said condolences and but when we left, what happened?
When we left, I was driving because Maddie didn't know where we were going. So we were driving out of the graveyard, and I was just looking around, kind of just, looking at grave sites, I guess you'd say. And I seen one that said Eric Wayne. I was like, no way. And then I seen Poston, so I like literally just bailed out of the car. I don't even know if I put it in park, to be honest. But it was kind of like surreal to actually see his name on a tombstone. I got out, talked to him like he was there, and then I just kind of broke down, lost it, cried, and sobbed, and all that fun stuff.
Let's talk a little bit about the low income apartments that you lived in. How was that like?
I lived in the ghetto in Beaver Dam, Kentucky. I'm just kidding. That's what I call it now. But looking back, it was pretty cool. It was the first time I ever lived in a house with an upstairs. So I thought we were like balling at this point. But no, I lived there up until we moved to a different location. But it was cool. I mean, there was kids everywhere. It was kind of like recess at home, I guess you could say. But in particular, one of my best friends and we grew pretty close together. That was Seth Turner, and there was a little basketball goal there, just a little half court goal, stiff, double rim, can't hit nothing on it. But we would play there for hours. And let's say it was raining outside, we would go to his house and watch Allen Iverson videos and one mixtape tours and play on his Nerf go until my mom would tell me it's time to come home, or I thought I needed to go home before someone thought somebody kidnapped me.
Uh, what happened there, particularly with your ankle?
Oh yeah. So this is a funny story. So I had like a big wheel scooter, and I thought it'd be cool to go down a hill with my ankles out. And I'm coming down this ginormous hill, and then yeah, I hit the curb with my right ankle and popped it twice to the right. And I popped it back in myself at like 12 years old. And my mom came outside exactly the same time as I did it. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I think so." So I run inside. You know, like those popsicles that come in juice, but you put them in the freezer and they turn into popsicles? Well, I just took about 15 of those and wrapped them around my ankle, got in the bathtub, and, I thought I was good. Well, then about 20 minutes later, my mom was like, "You all right?" I was like, "No, I think we need to go to the emergency room." I go to the emergency room. They're like, "Oh, you're good. You just got a bad sprain." Put me in this little air cast. 2 or 3 days later, they call my mom and tell her while I'm in school that I need to go to Owensboro Orthopedic, which is fine and dandy. I was cool with it. I got out of school early. But what I wasn't cool with was getting a cast. And if you never had a cast on your foot, when you get it took off, it looks like you have chicken legs.
Uh, I think you had a lemonade stand there.
Oh yeah, my lemonade stand. Oh yeah, me and a group of kids in that low income apartment complex, we had a little lemonade stand on the corner. I know it sounds like we were selling drugs, but we were like 12 and 13, so I swear it was lemonade. But like we made probably, you had people stopping, people trying to feed the needy, I guess you could say. But there's nothing wrong with living in low income apartments, man. Everybody's got their own struggle. But back to lemonade stand, we probably made like $20, $30. We split it all. Then my mom went to the store and got all of his candy with our earnings.
There was a little baseball field there.
Oh yeah, the baseball field across from the apartment complex is where I played Babe Ruth. Um, and I wasn't the biggest dude. I was the catcher, but I didn't take no crap. You know what I mean? But that was around the time when I broke my ankle. Season was over at this point, but they had like the All Star teams. I was drafted for the All Star team to go play across Kentucky, but yeah, I didn't get to do that this summer. It was kind of bumming, but things happen for a reason. So yeah,
And Beaver Dam Elementary. How was it growing up there?
Beaver Dam Elementary. Wow. Um, yeah, I went there first for kindergarten through sixth grade. Played basketball third through sixth grade. Was had them. We was only beat once. My 4 years of playing basketball there. I say four because I was in third grade twice. I got held back, but don't judge me. But yeah, I only got beat once the whole time I was there. And the only team that beat us was the Beaver Dam A team. I was on the B team, but I was dominating. Um, but no, the gym floor there, man, that's where I really learned how to play basketball. My basketball coach, I'm still friends with on Facebook today, Coach Price. But I was putting up big numbers back then. Now I'm coaching, so yeah, I had to have some kind of impact, right? But yeah, so Beaver Dam was great overall. I learned out who I was, when I was, how I was. A lot of broken bones over the years in Beaver Dam. Fingers, of course, playing baseball and basketball growing up. Um, but something that really want people to realize is that not everybody's here forever. Your grandparents, your parents, your friends. They could be gone in the blink of an eye. I lost two friends that I grew up with most of my life. You think nothing's going to happen to you when you're young. You think you can live forever, but you can't. You know, Crazy shit happens all the time. I just want people to realize that and realize that, shit can be taken from you at any point in time. But guys, this is going to wrap up the podcast, episode one, my story. Part two will come out soon, but first, I got to get some single interviews out of the way. You feel me? But guys, just remember to always sit down and listen.